Beyond Oasis for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive is a distinct 2D adventure story that takes place in an ancient Persian-inspired world where magical spirits roam, swords are crossed, and an old, worn, golden armlet is far more than it first appears.
While treasure hunting on an uncharted island, Prince Ali makes a brilliant discovery. Its magical powers awakened, the voice of the golden armlet speaks to Prince Ali, telling him that he has been chosen for a difficult task and entrusted with its forgotten powers and must unite the four spirits. The power of which Oasis hasn't seen since two warring sorcerers fought long ago, each drawing power from their own armlet, one gold, one silver, but ultimately leading to their own destruction. It was a battle during which the armlets themselves were lost to history, that is, until now. As the ethereal flame vanishes, Ali is snapped back to reality by the ground shaking beneath his feet as the cave and island are collapsing all around him. Fleeing to his boat, he makes his way back to dry land. Right away you can see the vibrant graphics and slightly cartoonized stylings of the game's environment. Soon after returning to town, Ali's fighting skills are put to the test as it falls under attack, leaving the villagers to flee for their lives. Investigating, Ali comes face to face with the invading enemies, giving you a chance to rescue everyone and get accustomed to the combat controls. After defeating the enemies and picking up a piece of cheese, you meet with your teacher, who recommends in light of the day's events that you should return home to the palace and report to your parents what has happened, and make sure that they too are okay. At the palace to the west, you converse with the king and learn more about what has been entrusted to you and where to find the first spirit. Exiting the palace in style, it's off to the water shrine, where the first of four spirits awaits. Before we go any further, let's talk about the controls. At any time you can pause the game and bring up the menu screen. There you can check your current position on the world map, as well as see a white flag showing your target destination. You can also save the game at any point as long as you aren't inside a dungeon, and there are additional options for status, items, and weapons. Items largely consist of food that can be used to restore hit points and magic. Ali's default weapon is his dagger, but there are also swords, bombs, and crossbows that you can find. Though all the additional weapons break after a limited number of uses, so ration them carefully for taking on the game's tougher opponents. Combat is one of Beyond Oasis' strengths as a game, as it's fairly dynamic with the whole arsenal of moves for Ali to employ. There's a basic stab attack, a slashing attack, jump kicks, and a handful of special moves to discover as well. Defeating enemies will help you level up if they drop hearts that increase your power. The numbers aren't always stacked in your favor, and the enemy knows no shame when it comes to beating you up, as exhibited here, where you can see an epic beatdown in process by these three soldiers with spears. I mean, just listen to these sound effects. Ouch. Bad guys range from simple foot soldiers to bats, snakes, giants, gargoyles, fire elementals, and so on. In addition to the fighting, Ali will also be challenged with simple puzzles to solve as you explore the game's dungeons. And there will never be a shortage of villains wielding swords and magic out to get you. As the king instructed, your first destination is the water shrine, and it is certainly not devoid of bad guys to test your fighting skills against. Inside, you'll need to find keys to open the various locked doors and solve puzzles within. As advertised, there is a lot of water elements and appropriately themed challenges to overcome. Reaching the boss room, you enter into combat against one large and frighteningly unhappy giant crab monster. Totally reminds me of something one would see on one of Sinbad's voyages. You want to watch out for it and pay special attention to the boss's large claw, and with good reason. Once you've defeated the boss, you'll be able to use the power of the golden armlet to enter the secret shrine room and release the water spirit, who will aid you in your quest. She has the power to heal Ali and stun enemies, and you can summon her with your armlet anytime you are around the element of water. The same goes for the fire spirit, who you can summon from torches, campfires, etc., and will boldly fight alongside you as he is a combat specialist, and will more than make his mark on your enemies. The remaining two spirits for you to recover are Shadow, aka Shade, and eventually the fourth spirit of plants named Bo, who has an appetite for, well, anything and can break down doors for you. Summoning the different spirits and utilizing their different abilities is essential for solving the game's many puzzles, and it is worked into the gameplay masterfully. As the plot thickens, you learn more about the peril that threatens the kingdom, leading you to confrontations with many powerful enemies and monsters. The boss battles are the most complex and varied opponents you will face, as you would expect. Testing your skill against larger-than-life opponents is very rewarding, and some of the game's best graphics are clearly on display in these boss fights. What's my favorite contest of strength in this manner? It would have to be the fight against the dragon in the volcano. It's just so cool, and a real signature moment for the game. It's also the first screenshot that caught my eye on the back of the box, so I was looking forward to it from the beginning. Ultimately though, your main opponent in the game is the mysterious Silver Armlet, who keeps showing up now and again to release some bad guys or cause general havoc. And it is up to you to figure out a way to defeat Silver Armlet and return peace to Oasis. Along the way, you'll find many items to strengthen Ali as you level up and explore more of the map.
Beyond Oasis was released in 1995, and being a North American gamer, the version that I have is the Sega Genesis one. Now, I played it initially back in 1995 with one of my best friends, but I actually haven't played it since until now. I'm going to be using my Sega CDX, which I picked up on eBay a couple of years ago for pretty cheap, and it's pretty awesome actually because it includes a Sega CD as well as a cartridge spot. So, I don't know, definitely something to look for if you're in the market. Now, there was actually a follow-up game in 1996 called The Legend of Oasis, and this came out for the Sega Saturn, and it's actually a prequel game.
There is a lot to like about this game, though it's a relatively short quest. Despite claims on the box of being the largest adventure game ever on the Genesis, as that refers to the size of the cartridge itself, weighing in at an impressive 24 megabytes of gameplay, which was actually excellent for its day. All the game environments are designed with care. The combat is fun, solving the puzzles is enjoyable and rarely frustrating. The music is pretty basic and doesn't stand out in my mind, but hardly holds the game back either. And the integration of the four spirits into the gameplay is really what the world of Beyond Oasis is all about, as you must harmonize the natural elements to bring balance to this world.
That concludes my look at Beyond Oasis by Sega. Thank you very much for watching, and I really appreciate everyone who has subscribed to my channel, left comments, rated my videos. It really means a lot to me, and I always appreciate the feedback, so thank you.
So if you are a fan of the action-adventure genre and are intrigued by the idea of embarking on a quest to unite the four spirits in a 2D crusade against Silver Armlet, then I would definitely recommend checking out Beyond Oasis.